All right, there we go. We are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. Yes, my name is Rob. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. So I'm going to be spending about 45 minutes with you. It's not a long presentation. We get straight to the point, I hope, for yourselves. We're going to be discussing a little bit of background on DuePoint so that you at least know the business, a little bit of background on us, where we come from, how we were founded, and then more importantly, we're going to get into the benefits for you as guests this evening. And after the presentation, you're welcome to come speak to me. You can come ask me any questions that you would like. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, we're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We have operated in the insurance space in South Africa since 1952, so for almost 70 years, with a good amount of success. Constantia really molded the insurance industry in South Africa. You probably don't know the brand. Does anyone know Constantia? Probably not, right? Maybe some of the people that have been here already. But typically people don't know about Constantia because they've never dealt with consumers. They are very much a B2B business. They only have typically dealt with other financial service providers. They underwrite a lot of long-term insurance in South Africa's market. So if you've ever had the opportunity to page through your insurance policy, at the back you'll see who underwrites your insurance policy. Constantia is one of those underwriters in South Africa's market. But you'll become more familiar with this brand if you do decide to join us. The FSP number that we operate under is that one over there. We've got a number of Financial Services Board licenses. We have a long and short-term insurance license. We've got an investment license. We've also got our Financial Services Provider license. And you're free to scrutinize those licenses. They're on display outside in the foyer above the water cooler. They are available on our website, and if you're still a little skeptical, you can even go to the FSCA website and they'll tell you that we are licensed over there. So we obviously take credibility very seriously at DuePoint. As someone who's involved in advertising, I'll tell you that for any transaction to take place, trust has to be the foundation of any transaction. And so make yourself familiar with our business. You're welcome to go Google us, go check out our website, go to Constantia's website. You will see that we're listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital. So I hope that you have a sense that you're dealing with a very reputable business when you look at DuePoint. The senior staff are these people up on screen. So the first three people here are registered chartered accountants. That's Brendan, Tim, and Stacey. Brendan's our head executive, or our senior executive. He heads up this division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. His father was extremely successful and still is very successful in the insurance space. His father started selling insurance policies door to door the moment he got out of high school, and after that, was CEO of a number of businesses in South Africa over the last 50 years. He was a professor of insurance. He taught at Wits for 25 years. He founded Clientele Life, which is one of the biggest life insurance companies in the country. They have businesses in Europe. They help found businesses in Australia with his son. So Brendan's got a brother, Stuart. Together they founded a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct. PMD is the fourth biggest short-term insurer in the country already, in the space of, I think they're 9 years old at the moment. So some wonderful insurance and financial pedigree in Mr. Benfield there. Very lucky to have him heading this division. Tim and Stacey, our other accountants, they look after the mundane accounting aspects and responsibilities in our business, the auditing aspects, a lot of the regulatory aspects of our business, all fairly important stuff. And then myself and Jane. Jane is very experienced in referral, network marketing, direct selling. She's been doing it for a very long time. She's actually from the UK, so she brings some wonderful international experience to our business. Even though we're an insurance company, the marketing model that we've adopted is one of remuneration. It's a remuneration model to the public. We call it network marketing or referral marketing. We are not a network marketing business. It drives me nuts when people refer to us as a network marketing business. That is just the marketing side of the business. That's the marketing role that we've adopted at DuePoint. We are still an insurance company. All right, and so Jane's experience is very important to our business for the growth that we rely on. And then myself, I've been working in advertising for over 25 years. I ran my own digital agency for 15 of those years, so I focus very much on the digital space, all the way back to those days when we had noisy little modems on our tables and 14400 was fast. Anyone remember those days, right? We've got a young audience in front. You probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But that's kind of where I started. Our agency Fairly small, but we ran fairly successfully, did a lot of work for the big banks in South Africa. We were the first digital agency assigned to Investec, did a lot of work for ABSA, FNB, Nedbank, and so that's the experience that I've developed over the last 25 years. But this is the team that's been put together. We've got our client service staff, some admin staff. The mandate of staff of DuePoint is to support everybody that joins us. We are very reliant on the public that we bring into the business to grow our business. So it suits our business interest to support you. We can only be successful if the people that we rely on for growth are being effective. And so what we want for the wealth engineers is to make sure that they are supported, they're being effective, and more importantly, that you're profitable. Because you're not going to do this unless you're profitable, right? And so all that support lends into you being effective and profitable and ultimately happy. We want happy people here at DuePoint. And so that's our mandate. You are certainly not alone if you decide to join this business. You have all the support in the world. You just have to lean into that support. You don't get a call from me in the morning saying, when are you going to come visit us, right? Just lean into it. It's there for you. Very quickly, we kind of look at the circumstance that South Africans find themselves in. I don't have to hop on this too long. We all know the amount of pain, perhaps the fear that we have from a personal finance point of view, because in the last month it has certainly not been rosy. There is no rosy outlook for our economy at the moment. Maybe there's some hope in the far distance, but for now we are worried about the end of the month typically. But really all of this starts to really exacerbate, especially when you look at debt and the amount of debt that South Africans have. If we look at just South Africans' fiscus, I think they've averaged our debt to, and this includes babies, toddlers, children and adults, an average debt of 56,000 Rand per person. That's the debt that South Africa has as a country, which is really our debt. And this really comes to a head because you expected over 40, 45 years of working to put together a retirement fund for yourself, right? That requires you not to spend all your money every month. It requires you to start saving a certain portion of it. But if we look at the statistics, people don't do that for whatever reason, but people aren't in the position to do that. Our salaries are increasing at 2%, inflation's increasing at 4.5% on average, right? That massive discrepancy means you've got less money every single month going forward. When are you in a position to start putting a couple of thousand Rand away into a retirement fund? And that certainly comes to a head when you reach that awful number 65. In the old days, it used to be a nice number to look forward to. You could go retire on the beach. You didn't have to go to work anymore, right? The prospect sounded good. Nowadays, it's a fearful prospect because 95% of our population can't afford retirement. They become what we call financially dependent people, right? They become a burden to their children. Oh, the kids have to support me now because I can't support myself. I don't have enough retirement fund. The government grant's not big enough, right? And what our business is about, DuePoint, is about mitigating that risk. We're in the business of risk, right? And this opportunity is opportunity for you to mitigate that risk. And so what happened 2.5 years ago, Constantia saw this as an opportunity for a number of reasons, and we launched the DuePoint system. So in February 2016, that all happened with a number of aspirations for people in this business. We did not want to create an opportunity that didn't solve the social problem, right, at the same time. For us, to make sure we were doing something that you saw value in, we realized that the business had to be focused around wealth creation. Right? There's a big discrepancy between wealth creation and income generation. It doesn't matter how much income you create, you can still not be wealthy. Right? There are many examples running around our auspicious suburb of Bryanston and Sandton where people are still living lifestyles that they can't afford. With whatever reason, you could be earning 200,000 Rand a month. If you go buy a 10 million Rand house and a Porsche, where's your wealth? Right? You owe the bank all the money because you aren't able to buy any of those and you're not investing in assets. And so when I say our business is focused around wealth creation, what it requires is a paradigm shift in our thinking, right? And I'll illustrate that a little more better for you later in the presentation. But what our business is about wealth creation, and it starts with getting rid of your debt. I know I'm 40-something. I won't reveal exactly. I'm 40-something. But what I've realized, and having the opportunity to go to university, I dropped out of engineering to pursue advertising. I worked for big corporate. I ran my own company for 15 years. And what I realized is that you just adopt this thing called debt as as a natural form of personal finance, right? You might owe money on your credit card. Oh, you don't take it too seriously, right? You're not failing to feed yourself every month. Oh, you've got a bond. Oh, I can pay the bond off for 20 years. That's fine. That's cool. Buy a car. I can pay the car off over 6 years, right? What it does is it infringes on your opportunity to create wealth. And so when we talk about wealth creation, what I want people to start considering as wealth engineers, especially if they're earning money in addition to their salaries here at DuePoint, is to use that to empower yourself to create wealth. Because only once you've paid off all your debt can you now start focusing on buying assets that are actually worth anything, that might create annuity income, that might appreciate every year. Right? And that's what our business is focused around. And that's the language that we really speak. Because I think if you can achieve those two things, man, you will sort out many of your problems, especially in the economy that we find ourselves in here in South Africa. Anyway, so how does this business work? I guess this evening you have the opportunity to join this business called DuePoint. Once you join us, we refer to you as a wealth engineer. Right? A bit of a cheesy term, but it's very appropriate because that's exactly what we designed to do here, is to engineer wealth. And as a wealth engineer, you have a single task, and that is to build what we call a channel of distribution. I will show you what a channel of distribution looks like, but it is basically you just introducing other people to DuePoint. That's all you have to do. Tell people about DuePoint, right? If you're successful in that process, if you can get other people to come look at us and ultimately become wealth engineers and product owners, that successful process leads to a host of benefits for yourself that you need to consider, right? Because this slide is going to tell you whether you're interested in DuePoint or not. The primary benefit is that you get to create additional income. You get an extra paycheck at the end of every single month. The nature of the income, again, is focused around wealth creation. Our business is not about creating once-off commission-based, sales-based income. Right? That has got too many limitations. That is what your job is for. Right? A job is what we call active income. And active income is constrained by time. You only have so much time to put into your job every single day, right? You're going to be doing that for 45 years. It has place in life. It will pay your bills, but we're not here about paying bills. We're here to create wealth. And so what we do is we create recurring income. It is the ability to make money while you're sleeping. It frees you of time constraint. Because we're not paying you out for the work that you're doing, we're paying you out for the asset that you're building. The asset is what pays you the income, right? It's like owning a second property. If you had a second property and you're renting that property out, that is passive income. It's annuity income. That's the income you want. That is where wealth is lying for you, right? And so that's what we do here at DuePoint. You get to harness the power of duplication. This is leverage. It's your opportunity to go out and build a team around you. A team will build your channel way faster and more effectively than you on your own. And so this is a benefit that you want to leverage as much as possible. Build a good team. A great team will get you to wealth so much quicker, right? Our business is flexi-time. The technology that we've imposed here at DuePoint allows you to build your channel of distribution at any time of the day, anywhere in the country. There's no limitation with regards to geography or time, right? You could be sitting on the toilet. You could be building this business. A bit of toilet humor there. Right? You have that flexibility. It makes a difference. We are certainly leveraging technology here at DuePoint. There is no startup capital. We've designed this business to have a very low barrier to entry. I certainly wouldn't want to be standing in front of you saying, to consider this business proposition, you all need to drop in 10,000 Rand tonight. Non-refundable deposit. Why are you frowning? You make way more money than that deposit. Right? People wouldn't consider it, especially in today's economy. Who's got the liberty of trying to put money into something to see if it'll work, right? Entrepreneurship, what are the rates there? The rates are quite scary. They reckon 95% of brand new businesses fail in the first 5 years. Who's willing to put their life savings into that? We've designed this to have a very low risk so that you can at least attempt this business and see whether you can make it profitable for yourself without any worry without the fear of losing your shirt. There's no qualifications or experience required here. Really becomes accessible to everybody. You get to build an asset that you have ownership over. Now, this is very important. And let me discuss the antithesis of this. So if you look at your employment, your salary, when does your salary end? When you get retrenched, right? When you get retrenched, perhaps if you're sick or disabled, you can't go to work, suddenly your income ends, right? When you get to 60, 65, your boss will ask you what cake you like. right? Have a nice little party for you because he's not paying your salary next month. Suddenly they've got a lot of extra cash in the business, right? I know my wife's one of the biggest labor litigators in the country, right? She manages over 160,000 staff from a labor litigation point of view. It's a huge risk for companies nowadays because we've got so much labor law that it poses a lot of risk for companies. So now we've got specialists and law specialists that specialize in labor litigation. My wife's one of those people. I know when staff members, when a company is struggling, they start to look at people that are around the age of 60 and say, look, you look quite old. Why don't you take a package and leave, right? That's the reality that we all face when we get to 65. That is the problem with active income, right? You're constrained by activity, by time. If you have an asset that is paying you out, whether it's DuePoint, whether it's a second property that you own, whatever it is, it doesn't retire you. You can be sick and lame at home, the payment will still come through if it's based on an asset. DuePoint will keep paying you through your 60s, through your 70s, through your 80s, through your 90s. Eventually when you die, what happens to an asset when you die? You get to seed it to your beneficiaries because you've actually created wealth in your life, right? And you get to pass wealth on to your children. Majority of South Africans and perhaps people around the world will typically pass debt onto the next generation. They call it generational debt. You can go look that up, Google it, Wikipedia it, right? At DuePoint, you are afforded the luxury of building an asset. And so when you have to consider this evening that you have to sacrifice time to build this channel of distribution, know you are sacrificing time to invest in a channel of distribution which is treated as an asset that will pay you like an asset. Right? And so I hope people will be happy to sacrifice time for this business. There's no selling involved in our business, absolutely no selling. If you read your code of conduct, your contract with us, it'll explicitly state there, you may not market, publish, sell, give advice. Don't even think about our products. You don't have to. There's no selling required in our business. You are only tasked with going out and telling people about the business opportunity at DuePoint. It's probably the number one commodity that exists in South Africa anyway. Right, is income opportunity. That's what people are looking around for. And that's all you have to do, is connect people to our business from the opportunity point of view. The nature of our products are convenient too because they're financial in nature. We don't have stock and distribution issues. You're not going to phone our reception and say, I need to come pick up 40 boxes of milkshakes because I'm going to sell this weekend like a machine. Right? And so you never need a bucky in this business. You don't have to make space in your garage. We've made the business to be as convenient as possible. But your success is certainly predicated on your ability to build a channel of distribution. So I said I was going to show you what one looks like. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer and a product owner here at DuePoint, and now you are tasked with going out and connecting other people. When you are successful in that process, right, and in this example, you've been successful with 5 people that you've connected to your first point, those people are going to go out and do the same thing. That's the reason why they became wealth engineers. And this is where the power of duplication lies. Because from that point on, your channel pretty much takes on a life of its own. Right? This is where the leverage exists. This is where you want to build a good team because you could be potentially earning money off of every single dot that you see on the screen. Not once off, every single month. So you have to be discerning over here when I say build a good team. What does he mean, build a good team? Bring in people that you think will thrive as wealth engineers. Don't be desperate and bring anyone into your business. If you picture yourself as the MD, the CEO of your business, and you're building your board of executives, your directors, do you go and find anyone off the street to join your business? You don't, right? We're not dissimilar to any organization in the country, whether it's government, business, the army. There is a structure. The structure is there on purpose. Bring the strongest people in at the top because that behavior filters down into the rest of your channel. You want to build a channel that's sustainable. Because that means that asset will pay you without you having to nurse it constantly. If you bring in weak people, the same behavior sinks into your channel, and then your business collapses every other month, right? We've seen people do it. They try to bring in thousands of people all at once. Anyone join, right? They think volume is going to create the wealth. Volume doesn't create the wealth. The quality is what creates wealth here at DuePoint, right? So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. This is what you're going to be building. My warning to you is, it will not happen overnight, right? You only have so much time in the day to start connecting those first few people in your business. You have to allow time to build your channel. It's not going to happen overnight. Wealth doesn't get created overnight unless you're one of the people that win lotto. Anyone won the lotto here? Anyone buy lotto tickets? Jeez, my father went through a stage where he was spending money on lotto tickets like it was going out of fashion, right? 20 million to 1 odds of winning the lotto. You're not going to win the lotto. And there's no lotto here at DuePoint. This is an authentic entrepreneurial opportunity that is not dissimilar to any other entrepreneurial opportunity in the fact that it requires work. Right? I'm going to lay it all out on the table. All the benefits this evening. We'll go over the benefits of what is on the table for every single person to engage in. But it requires work. If you want to be good at anything, no matter how pretty and shiny it might look on the outside, behind the surface, below the surface, that's what it looks like. There's no dissimilar in this business, right? Because I have to mention this because people arrive here thinking we're a get-rich-quick scheme. We're not, I'm sorry to say. See, now you're in a problem. Now I'm telling you that we have to get rich slowly. What would you rather have, get rich quick or get rich slowly? Don't lie, everyone wants to get rich quickly, right? But I'm telling you it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, right? That is my point. And so be prepared with the reality that there's work waiting for you. But the work has the rewards attached to it. You have to decide whether the rewards are worth it. Okay, so this is my official warning to everybody. Let's discuss our financial products. So we've got 4 products here at DuePoint. Their benefit is all financial in nature, right? Our products are actually designed with wealth in mind. So they're either designed to boost wealth, or they're designed to protect your assets, or they're designed to lower your cost of living every single month so that you can get to wealth, to that debt-free status a little more quickly. Our first product is called Access Wealth. Access Wealth is going to cost you 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund. That's us with Sanlam. We've got fund managers, we've got fund administrators involved in this product. It's a very complex product, but straightforward from the outside. And on top of this investment, you have 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident death cover. So in other words, if you're killed in any form of accident, we will pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand. You've got full access to the investment. You can see there, no restriction, no delayed access periods. It's not a 30 or 60-day notice. You can draw your funds out immediately. I think it takes us about 5 working days to process that transaction. So this is the investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is insurance only. It's called Wealth Guard. It's going to cost you 249 Rand per month, but this time you get 1 million Rands worth of accidental death cover, right? So it's a way more, a lot more cover on this product. The beauty of this product is its accessibility, because typically if you look at a lot of life insurance products or any insurance products, what they want to do is evaluate your risk always, right? So whether you have car insurance, they want to know, where do you park your car? Right? What do you do with your car during the day? They are analyzing your risk all the time. With life insurance, it's very similar. They want to know, how old are you? Do you have these diseases in your family? Have you had any issues in the past? Right? They want to analyze your risk because they price your risk into the premium. The beauty of this product is that we don't do that. We don't discriminate against anyone's health status or your age. And so as long as you're over the age of 18, you can take out this product. The premium remains the same for everybody. So you can be 70, you can have heart condition, premium still 249. You still get the full amount of cover with this product. All right, so that's Wealth Guard. The third product is called Family Wealth. It is our funeral cover product. It starts at 299 Rand per month. You get 20,000 Rands worth of funeral cover. That covers up to 5 family members. You also get 10,000 Rands worth of debt protection. So if you owe anyone money, we'll cover that debt up to 10,000 Rand. You can bump the cover up to 30,000 Rand as well as up to 10 family members. And again, accessible to everybody because it says there, no excluded pre-existing conditions. That means it doesn't matter what pre-existing conditions you have, doesn't matter what your age is, the premium is still the same for everybody, right? Awesome product. Lastly, Wealth Points. Wealth Points is the product designed to lower your cost of living. Think about all the money that you spend regularly every month on cost of living. This product is designed to lower that cost of living. In other words, it is discounts, right? So for $299, you get to enjoy the discounts that we've negotiated with the list of suppliers and companies that you see there, always on Wi-Fi data. You can get a gig of data through them for about 36 Rand, I think, 36, 37 Rand. That's 67% off their normal price, 2.5% off ShopRite Checkers, as much shopping as you want to do there. So there's no limit to the amount of shopping. You get 2.5% off your entire trolley there every time. We've got a list of other online retailers there. We've got car manufacturers, Eagle Ford, Ford, Land Rover, Jaguar. Anyone looking to buy a Land Rover soon? Range Rover? Range Rovers, anyone? Oh, we've got 2 Range Rovers over there. Right? Go see them. They'll give you the best price in the country. I've already experienced the service at Ford. You just get a 5% discount on a brand new car. How much money has that saved you, right? So this is probably the product that will afford you benefit the quickest, because you get access to all these discounts immediately, except for the entertainer. That's a 6-month waiting list. And we are adding new partners to this product all the time. So it is evolving all the time without any change to the premium. So those are the 4 products. If you have any questions, come speak to me. Otherwise, go to our website. All the factual information is on the website. We've got in-depth reviews on YouTube. Feel free to peruse any of that information. So quickly, to allow people to understand our business model, because every now and again we get the question, well, how does DuePoint pay all these people and give people free cars and take them on holiday with their families every single year? It is basically the difference in our marketing model. So the business model looks like this for traditional companies. Traditional insurance companies spend a fortune on marketing and advertising. That is how they grow. That is how they acquire clients in the market. At DuePoint, we don't do any advertising or marketing, right? Has anyone seen a DuePoint advert outside of this building? A logo anywhere, a radio ad, heard anything? Nothing, right? Because we don't spend a cent on that. Yet we still take that portion of our budget, but we just assign it to something else. We give it to our wealth engineers for the work that they do in spreading the word of DuePoint, right? And so the 2 ways for you to benefit is through what we call our returns program and the XP rewards program, which I'm about to discuss with you. So these are the ways you're going to earn here at DuePoint. The first way is the returns program. This is the money that you make every single month, right? So we pay a base return fee of R27.50 for every product that you have in your channel. So remember the slide with all the dots on? Those were products, right? And you're getting paid for every single product that you see in your channel. But it is dependent on where the product lies in relation to you. So on your first point, remember in the example we had 5 people that you connected. Those people lie on what we call your first point. They are 1 point away from you. And on the table, you can see you actually get paid double R27.50. So now you're making R55 for every person on your first point every single month, because it's recurring income. And when those people go out and connect other people to DuePoint, that product lies on your second point. Again, you're earning R55 for every product on your second point. And then as your channel starts to grow, the product gets further away from you. The further away it gets, the multiplier drops steadily all the way down to the 8th point. But we don't limit you at the 8th point, right? That's why we have a little plus symbol next to the 8. So you can carry on earning well beyond point 8. There is no limitation to the size of your channel. There's no limitation to how much money you can earn at DuePoint. That's the mechanics. That's as complex as we get here at DuePoint. And so the next question is, well, how much time do I have to put into DuePoint before I'm wealthy? Well, that's something you need to decide. I don't know what you consider wealthy. But I'm going to show you a 5-year plan. So this is a projection over the next 5 years that is based on an assumption around activity. That assumption is, can you connect 3 people in your first month at DuePoint, right? That'll get you qualified to start earning. And then every month after that, you connect 2 people. Every month, right? Every consecutive month, 2 new people onto your first point. And if you can follow that example of growth, of activity, after 6 months, you could be earning R2,500 a month, thereabouts. Right now, you've got to consider all of a sudden, is R2,500 6 months worth of work? Is it? My first impression was it wasn't. What can you spend R2,500 on? Is it going to change your life? No? Well, I'm going to illustrate something to you, because I'm going to argue that point. Because a lesson that I learned in myself is that I constantly keep making the mistake of thinking like a consumer. How does a consumer think? You give them R2,500, they know what to spend it on. That's how consumers think. I give you R10,000, you know what you're going to spend it on. I give you R100,000, you know what you're going to spend it on. At least I do. Right? I assume everyone's the same as me. So the illustration here is, well, if you're not thinking like a consumer, how can you think? Well, someone who's focused around wealth creation or investment or asset creation doesn't think like that. If you give them R2,500, they immediately think, how can I leverage the money to make more money? Right? And the first way you can make more money out of money is by paying your debt off faster. Right? Let me illustrate it to you. So here we've got someone who's got R1 million bond. Everyone want to be a homeowner? Right? I think I bought my first property probably and it was only land. I could only afford land at that stage. Probably at the age of 24 or something. I kicked myself for not buying land and property sooner. but I was spending too much in those days. But anyway, so here's someone that has bought a property for R1 million, right? They haven't bought it, they financed it. Because who's got R1 million sitting in their banks? Right, so you go to the bank, you finance it. They enter into a bond contract with you. Bond contracts are typically over a certain term, right? Most people go for 20 years because you want to buy the biggest house your salary can afford, so you take the longest term available to you. At prime +2 on R1 million, over 20 years, you're paying back 11,500 rand to the bank every single month for 20 years before you become a homeowner. Right? Everyone appreciate the bond? Right? Everyone wants to get a bond. But this person joined DuePoint, and 6 months later they started earning this measly 2,500 rand that can hardly afford you much from a consumer point of view. But if you take that 2,500 rand and you decide to put it into your bond as an additional payment to pay your debt off faster, how much faster do you pay it off in? Well, you'll pay it off in 11.5 years instead of 20 years. If you become this bond owner at 30, you get to pay your house off at the age of 41, before your 42nd birthday. If you're like me at 40, wow, I could take up to 60 to pay my house off, or I could do it at the age of 51. Well, where's the monetary value in this? The monetary value is in the interest that you don't have to pay back to the bank. Because on a 20-year bond, you typically pay back 2.5 times the value of an asset, right? So on a R1 million house, you would have paid 2.5 million. In this exercise, that little 2,500 rand that you put in as additional payment will save you a hair under 900,000 rand in interest that you would have paid to the bank. And that is where wealth starts. Get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. That is 6 months away. At month 12, you're earning 9,000 rand a month. That's in excess of 100,000 rand extra every year. Anyone get a 100,000 rand bonus this year from the employer? Why is everyone laughing? We're in Sandton. Right? Richest city in Africa. I saw someone driving around in his 488 GTB Ferrari pulling into the building next door. There's some rich people, or maybe he's financed it. That's where I tricked myself in there. I said, he's not rich, he's financed it. Right? 100,000 rand extra. Imagine picking up a 100,000 rand check every December. How that changes your life. It does, it changes dramatically. At month 24, you could be earning close to 30,000 rand a month. That becomes life-changing. At 36 months, 3 years from now, 50,000 rand. 48 months from now, Qatar World Cup, Soccer World Cup, 48, you could be sitting on the center line, in the front, in the desert watching soccer. Right, to give it a little bit of a practical orientation, 4 years from now, close to 70,000 rand a month. Remember, this is over and above your salary. You've got to realize at some point along this path, you can tell your boss what you really think about them. Anyone have the liberty of doing that now? You do? You lie, you don't. What do they call that? A career limiting move, right? And then at month 60, you're close to 85,000 rand. R1 million over and above your salary in annual recurring income. Imagine picking up R1 million check once a year from a company that you do flexi time. So that's our 5-year plan. This is based on you finding 2 new people to add to your business every single month. All right, so you can argue with me, and I'll take this without too much argument, that this is academic, right? This is just an example. It's a formula that we showed you. And that's why it's so important that we bring people up onto stage, and we do it every single month. It's called Tell All Tuesday, where we bring wealth engineers up onto stage that have journeyed this experience with DuePoint, right? We don't bring the people that quit the business, but we bring in people that have endured. And it's not all roses. They don't come up and say, oh, it's been so easy. They'll say, there have been times where it's been flipping tough, man. You know, this is a people business. Worse, it's even a volunteer business. Yet, you can still be successful at it. Right? And we invite them up, they share their testimonies, and they might have joined 6 months ago with new people. We've got people, some superstars that have been in the business for over 2 years, but we bring them up nonetheless. Their testimonies are all available on YouTube if you want to go watch them, but we only highlight the latest ones. So here we've got Renee and Henny. Been in the business 6 months, they're generating 1,600 rand a month in their business. You can see they invited 14 people into their business on their first point. That's translated to 33 products in their channel. They have aspirations of getting to 1,000 products because a lot of wonderful things happen when you get to 1,000 products. And their testimony is great, right? Renee is very successful in the property space. So every day, typically, in forgetting the word here, in property, she typically phones 20 leads. I think she said in property she phones 20 leads to do her property business. And she decided for DuePoint, she's going to phone 30 people. 30 people a day to see who's interested in DuePoint. And on the one day, all 30 people said to her no. All 30. My question always is, who would get to 30 no's? Right? I probably would have given up after 10 and said, this business doesn't work. Right? She persisted, but she's got a wonderful end to the story because she said she made herself a cappuccino, she lay on the bed, and she decided she won't accept all these no's. And she phoned another 5 people, and out of the 5, 4 people said yes. Any business, any success is about persistence. Nothing else, actually. Here we got some superstars. So here's Donnie. He's been in the business since day one. It took him, so we're only showcasing his first 16 months because he got to over 1,000 products in his first 16 months. That's how long it took him. What did that look like? Well, in his first month, he only connected 1 person. But then I think as his belief in the business started to grow, because I think everyone enters a little skeptical, will this work for me? Can I do it? Is this business legitimate? He started averaging 5 new people every single month. And along the way to 1,000 products. So 1,000 products gets you to earning between 20 and 30,000 Rand a month, right? And on the way, he helped 13 families earn additional income. So he had 13 people on his first point that were now generating income for themselves. Then we've got Patrick and Pumi, who are here this evening. They took 11 months. They shot from under 1,000 to over 1,300 in a single month. Imagine your channel growing by 400 products in 30 days. Without your input, really, because what they were averaging was 8 a month. So in that month, they put in 8, but their channel grew by 400. That is called leverage. That's called building a good team, bringing in solid first pointers in your business, right? That's why you have to be so discerning at that point. They put in 14 in their first month, same as Donnie. They also had 13 people on their first point earning money in their business. And we have thousands of people joining this business all the time, every month. And everybody is different. Even though the system is exactly the same, everybody is different, right? We all got different belief systems, whether it's in yourself or in this business, different goals, different targets, different needs, different necessity. But you are at liberty to decide what you want out of this business. That's always the decision. Is what I think I can get out of the business worth the work that I'm going to be prepared to put in? That is the decision. It is not so much what you want. It's what you're willing to do for it. That's the difference between success and failure, always. And so decide what you want, but decide practically how DuePoint's going to fit into your life. Right? I know you guys here every Wednesday night. Right? You decided. I mean, sheepers, I played touch rugby for 10 years of my life provincially. I knew every Tuesday night and Saturday was touch rugby. Didn't make me any money. This sounds like a much better hobby. But you practically have to decide how you're going to fit this business into your life so that you can become used to it. You know what the prospects are of your time sacrifice. You know what to expect, and you know how to keep yourself accountable to this business, because I want to see every single person successful. And so while I give this presentation, I try to give you a couple of truths to being successful in this business. What is going to help you, right? Before the end of the presentation, decide how you're going to fit this business into your life. What do you need to move around? Getting started is very straightforward. You complete the application to become a wealth engineer. That literally takes you 5 minutes. Read the code of conduct. It will help you because it'll tell you what you cannot do. You can get fired from this business, believe it or not, if you do a couple of things. Then go watch the training. We've got a plethora of training on our YouTube channel. There's so much knowledge, testimony from other wealth engineers. Go look at that, right? Let it empower you to connecting people more effectively. Set yourself goals. This is not just a DuePoint principle. This is a life principle. Set goals for yourself. And goals need deadlines, by the way. Goals not just, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire by the age of 30. That's a goal, right? Because that's the only way you can formulate a plan, is having a goal. Start with a goal, formulate the plan. I can help you with a plan. We've got training that helps you understand the plan from a DuePoint perspective. You want to earn 10,000 Rand a month, every month, within 12 months? I know you need to be connecting 2-3 people every single month, right? That's the plan. And that's the only number you have to keep yourself accountable to, is how many people do I need to speak to for 2 people to join? Keep yourself accountable to that number, right? Make it regular. So getting started, very straightforward. Get merchandise. The merchandise is there to help your credibility in your proposition to anyone that you go prospect. It is. It's a picture of credibility. If I walk into a room dressed like this, I've got business cards with me, maybe I've got a notebook, and I sit down and I tell you I want to speak to you about this business that I'm involved in. It's called DuePoint. Or I come, I'm in shorts, a t-shirt, my sandals, no business cards, no notebook. You ask me for my contact details after I've told you about this business that I think is amazing, and I've got to tear off a corner of your diary to put my name and number on. Who's going to get the business? I've been in advertising for 25 years. Business is about credibility. People will sum you up in seconds when they look at you. That might upset you, but no one cares about whether you're upset or not, right? Business is brutal. Leverage first impressions to your advantage. Get the merchandise. Get the business cards. It will help you. This is not a profit center for us. These are tools that have been designed to help you in connecting with people. Join our Facebook channel. Plenty of content being produced there daily. The YouTube channel, like I said, all our videos, our training testimonies on the YouTube channel, but more importantly, the YouTube platform is what we use to live stream our presentations out and our training out to the rest of South Africa. So currently there are way more people watching us on YouTube than are sitting here in this room. It affords you the ability to grow your channel in any town in South Africa. All you have to do is find someone, send them a link through WhatsApp or email or whatever it is, tell them, click on the link, watch the presentation, I'll phone you afterwards. Leverage that technology, right? You don't have to build your business in the town that you live. The technology is there to build it out there. Download our mobile app available for Android and Apple devices, so that is your business in your pocket. That's all you need. Right? We've got one gentleman who's been fairly successful here at DuePoint. He's got a health condition that doesn't allow him to leave his house. He's built his business regardless because of the technology, right? Because he's able to run his business from the mobile app. So the moment you become a wealth engineer, do these things. Then on to our rewards program. So the rewards program is the second way to benefit here at DuePoint. It is not as important as the monthly return that you generate, but it's certainly a lot of fun. You can already see there's palm trees and beaches, right? So the rewards program works like this. When you start building your channel here and you are active, there are rewards waiting for you. How does it work? Well, basically, if you become a wealth engineer this evening, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer, right? You're not even on the slide. To get on the slide, to get to rank 1, you need what we call XP. You need 1,000 XP. It stands for experience points. How do you earn XP? Anything that you do wealth engineer related earns you XP. Just by being here tonight, you get XP. If you bring guests, you get extra XP. Logging into your app every day, there's XP. So there's about 20 different things that earn you XP. Getting 1,000 takes 20 seconds. You need 4 products in your qualified channel, and when you meet those 2 criteria, you suddenly become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and we give you a whopping 55 Rand at the end of the month as a once-off reward to say congratulations, you're on the board or the slide. Right? But what you've just proven to yourself is that you can get to any rank in this business. The only thing separating a rank 1 and a rank 20 is time. Because the rank 20 is doing the same thing the rank 1 is every day. There's no difference. They are just going out and speaking to somebody. Right? If you can endure, you can get to rank 20. And look at rank 20. It might be a little intimidating. 500 million XP, 25,000 products in your channel. Imagine the money you're earning every single month when you get to 25,000 products. So, as you start to rank up, the rewards get bigger and better with every rank. At rank 5, we give you a fancy little USB stick. It's got all our collateral on there for you to show people, to share the DuePoint opportunity with people. It plugs into any device. At rank 7, we talk about credibility being so important, first impressions. We spend 12,500 Rand getting 1 set of business cards manufactured in your name for you. They are impressive business cards, even by my standard, right? You can go ask Patrick and Pumi if they'll let you touch their business card. They won't give it to you. You can touch it, give it back, wash your hands before you take their business card, right? They are very valuable. I promise you, there's no one in the country that has 12,500 Rand business cards. I can guarantee you that right now, right? This will help you build your channels. Rank 9, everyone gets very excited about this one. We're heading into spring and summer. I'm glad the weather's warmed up a little bit in Joburg since the weekend. And rank 9 is around the corner for us. What is it? It is the point where you reach 1,000 products, like you saw Donnie and Patrick did in 11 and 16, or 16 and 11 months respectively. But we take you and your family to our Rank 9 International Conference. It's business class flights there and back. It is 7 days away to a 5-star luxury resort. And when I say luxury, it's luxury resort. You will be rubbing shoulders with multi-millionaires, I promise you that, because the rooms are 25,000 Rand per room per night, right? We do this trip so that you can understand where you are headed. It is a week where you get to live like a millionaire. And I mean that in all sincerity, right? And this happens every year for you and your family. Every year, when you are 1,000 products and above, you will keep coming on this international conference, and there's another trip waiting for you further down the rank order. Right? So take a look at what rank 9 looks like. We are 3 months away from this. I want everyone to picture themselves or to feel themselves with their toes in the sand.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sound where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Welcome back to the sound. So what I was saying is that it's available for everybody in this room. Everyone can get to rank 9. We don't reset your XP at the end of the year. You keep building, right? On average, if you're active, it'll take you 2-3 years to get to rank 9. Then you are earning 20,000 Rand and upwards every single month. You're taking your family on an international 5-star trip every single year, and you are still progressing from that point. because then rank 11 awaits you. At rank 11, we spend R250,000 buying you a brand new car. More importantly, a car that has no debit order at the end of the month. How close are you to becoming debt-free now? You're earning extra money, you're driving a car that someone else paid for, you're going overseas every single year, someone else is paying for it. Or do you just increase your expenses as you start to make more money, right? This is the problem, right? Me, constantly, stop spending money, right? You get to choose what car you want. So this is what our rewards program looks like. You might go, wow, this looks awesome. It is not as important as the monthly return. The monthly return has got way more value in it, right? The monthly return will allow you to buy much bigger and faster cars than this. All right, so that's just a taster. Our rewards program goes up to rank 28. We're only in rank 11. You might be thinking, oh, I'm rich by now. But I'm telling you, just getting warmed up. Right? So we've mapped out what we think is at least 20, 25 years to get to rank 28. But you can only imagine what happens, what it must be like to get to those ranks. We've got national encounters planned for the rest of the year. So over end of September, you can see there all the way to the end of November, we are going to be visiting a number of cities in South Africa. So if I was you, I'd make a list of these cities and decide which people I can invite to these encounters to expose them to the DuePoint business opportunity, because this is your opportunity to build a national channel. Right? You go speak to our bigger wealth engineers. They have got wealth engineers in every province in the country. And you certainly want to leverage this opportunity. So make the list, find out who you can invite this to, go onto our website, DuePoint.net, click on the events button at the top. It'll list all our events. Go down to the national encounters and book yourself on these events, right? So we're going to be holding seminars that are really a mix between the intro presentation, our teamworks kind of workshops, and some training. And really what they do is there to cement belief in the business, right? It is opportunity for you to go national. So make sure that you do that to your advantage. Then tomorrow evening we have Throwdown Thursday. Throwdown Thursday is an intro presentation like this with a bit of a twist, where you get to wrestle mentally with Brendan over the DuePoint system. So we very much know all the excuses in the book as to why this won't work or why you can't do this, right? The excuses are endless, but we know them all and they're all the same. Boringly, unfortunately, but if you have any prospects that you think might be a little difficult to convert, use the Throwdown Thursday presentation tomorrow night, because Brendan goes through all those objections and he deals with them. And this is also an opportunity for you to look at the way Brendan deals with those objections, because it's exactly the same objections you will be dealing with when you are out attempting to connect people to business, right? Especially if you're dealing with a cynic, a skeptical person like me. I'm going to look at you immediately and going, no, you're trying to con me. What am I missing, right? So great presentation tomorrow evening. Book for that. And with that, this is my invitation. My invitation is to our guests this evening to come join this business called DuePoint. Without any pressure in the world, only the own pressure that you put on yourself to reaching your goals, to changing your circumstance, to taking control over some form of your income in this life. Because our lives are very limited. I already got my 25-year school reunion invitation this year. Gave me a small heart palpitation, realizing I'm so old, because I still feel like I'm in my early 20s. But nonetheless, time is fleeting. Already over the next 3 months, you might be already making your plans for December, for holidays, for relaxing, thinking you've worked hard already this year. At DuePoint, there are no holidays, except the rank 9, but that's still a ways away for a lot of people. But the next 3 months are certainly an opportunity to build on an asset that can start creating income for yourself. And so there is lots of opportunity in the last remaining months of this year. And that is my invitation to you. If you're one of the skeptics, we've designed this proposition to be low risk. So you can try it without any worry. Try it. If you're a skeptic, why not try it? That's my invitation to you. Try it for 30 days, 60 days. But give it some good effort and see where you are in a month or 2 months' time. I guarantee you, if you speak to one person a day for 30 days, you'll be far wealthier next month than you were last month. And that's the point of our business, is to build a little bit of wealth every single month, so that in 10 years' time, you look back and you thank God that you went to that presentation and joined that business. Right? It's about mitigating risk. So there's my invitation. If you have any questions, come speak to me. Otherwise, I wish everyone a prosperous weekend. Kind of the weekend, right? It's Wednesday evening already. And a prosperous end of the year. Thank you. Cheers.